Great.
I have a little problem with my train. It's kind of broken. I've absolutely got to get it out of the station. Do you think you could tow it over to the wall with your barge?
Lock closed. Barge blocked.
But if the locks were open, would it be okay to tow my train then?
Perché no? More money for that work.
Da, it's possible. My husband say we help you and you give money.
Right. And how much do you want?
Cinquante.
He want $150.
$150? I don't have that much.
No money, no barge.
Let me offer you $75.
No.
Nay, $125.
Out of the question. $100 and not a
Why
dime
are you
more.
haggling?
Correct. You have barge for $100.
Great. Now, don't move. I'll be back as quick as possible with the money.
How about if you don't tow my train, I don't open the lock for you? Wow, why would you bargain with these people?
You must really get to see the countryside. Do you know New York at all?
We no understand.
I'm looking for a funny little man who is supposed to live in Syberia.
Funny.
Can you imagine that?
Funny little man.
Siberia. I expect you've already been there.
Oh wow.
She vraga coming to Syberia?
Syberia. No. Too cold. Barge no break ice.
This is so bad.
I hope my train isn't too big for your barge.
It's okay. Motorboat, erste Klasse.
My husband say correct. Powerful motor.
I mean, we're not exactly very far from the winding machine, are we? It's dumb, isn't it, all this effort to go a few yards?
Put train in barge? Nah, not possible.
This is so bad.
Have you gone down to take a look around the station yet? It's amazing. You know, it's full of exotic birds.
Me to my gear? Ja. Ja, met plezier.
We no leave boat. Husband is land sick.
Okay.
It's not very polite of you to take advantage of my predicament. We could have done favors for each other, for free, out of solidarity.
Farmer, alles speak not full. Money, ja, muy full.
Excuse me?
My husband say need money for leave. $100 not lot for fancy lady like you.
How would you know a fancy lady like me, really? I'll leave you to it. I won't disturb you again.
До свидания.
I don't really know what to say about that. Aren't they stuck here as well? Why do we have to pay them? Never mind. Let's just play the game. So we need to find $100 apparently. And we have to talk to the Rectors. And we have to get past the birds. And we have to move the train. Why is everything so complicated, man? Seriously. Mammoths. Are those automatons? I think they are. Saber-toothed tigers? And, interesting architecture. Why are we... What can I do here? Oh, is this the lock? I think this is the lock. Yeah, I think it is. There's a guy there too. I need to...
This thing's jammed.
Kidding me? There's a golden egg there. Alright. This is so obscure, man. Seriously. Alright, let's just walk around and see if we can pick things up. There's a guy there. Where else can we go? Nowhere. Alright, let's go talk to the guy.
Hello.
Hey, baby, you party? You sure looking mighty fine. Love those big round eyes.
Just who do you think you are?
Hey, spunky. I like that in a lady. Okay, I'm hooked. Come on, Zol. I'll let you buy me that coffee.
I don't remember ever asking.
Hey, don't play hard to get. I know you like it big time.
Listen, kid. Go back home and play with your toy cars and forget you ever saw
Now
me.
what are you doing? Get $100 off him. How about I go have coffee with you if you give me $100? Or just kind of pull my train over a few yards. That's not a metaphor. I literally have a train for you to pull. It's not like it's not innuendo or anything. Those might be horses? Skeletons? Okay, what else are we doing? Nothing's there, nothing to click on. Alright, let's go this way. There's a mammoth skeleton there, and apparently there's several places we can go. Why would we... this game's so awkward, seriously. Like the camera angle changes all the time, there's no map. And then there's just kind of exits everywhere. And you can't tell what you're supposed to be able to click on. Look at this. Just looking through screen after screen. Oh wow. Okay, I'll come back. How many screens are there? Okay, there's a library. What's this way? What is this? Like it's just showing you the door, you can't see anything? Oh, the Rectors. Seriously, this is where they are? You don't have an office?
Good day to you, gentlemen.
Tell me, young lady, to what do we owe this pleasure?
Please do be brief. We do not have very much time on our hands.
As rectors of this university, we have serious matters to attend to, and our time is precious.
I have heard you wish to meet the owner of the train that is currently in your station. May I know the reason for your summons?
We are surprised that your train has not yet left, miss. The situation is most regrettable.
The rules do clearly state that trains are meant to come and go and not remain stationary at a platform.
Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
We agree then, dear colleagues, that what we're dealing with is deviant behavior.
This matter really is cause for concern.
It's a clockwork train, you see? So it needs winding up again. Unfortunately, there is no equipment in the station to do this.
A clockwork train? That's strange.
How very quaint. You mean it's some sort of mechanical toy?
You are causing a hindrance to us, miss.
I am very hopeful that I will find what I need along the wall.
The wall?
Miss, that really is not a suitable place for you to go.
Especially for a young lady.
You see, miss, we freely admit that every day we praise the existence of that particular edifice. We owe the integrity of our dear university and the fine education it provides to the wall.
It protects us from harm and invasion from the unknown.
May God protect us from what is beyond those ramparts, miss. Please believe me.
I don't have any choice. I must continue my journey.
Such a decision is a correct one since it's in line with regulations.
Thus, your train will indeed be able to leave.
And consequently cease to obstruct our station.
I think they're trying to... I think there's some sort of metaphor going on here. I mean, these people are into regulations and they're scared of what's behind the wall, but they're a university. I don't know what the story's trying to say here. I think it's trying to say something.
I haven't introduced myself. My name is Kate Walker.
Walker. Haven't we already had a Miss Walker? Ethnology Masters, September 1953, if my memory serves me correctly.
Perfectly well, my dear colleague. But if I may be so bold, it was a Mr. Walker and not a Miss. It was Bill Walker, sat the June 68 exams. The impudent fool turned up for the oral assessment in jeans, flouting strict internal regulations which explicitly state the required uniform for the occasion.
Pure incitement. It was scandalous. Sadly, we have seen worse since. Young people lack all respect of traditional values.
Tradition, young lady. One must always uphold tradition.
Huh. That's usually not how universities work.
You see, I didn't actually intend to stop here, but the springs of my train gave up, you see?
No, not really. You mean to say you're not a student?
You have arrived a little late in the term, Miss. Enrollment for this year has already terminated.
But as rectors of this university and therefore representatives of its highest authority, we could bend the rules a little, if you like.
You don't understand. I'm a lawyer from New York, or rather Valladolid more precisely. My client wants to buy out an old mechanical toy factory, but its heir isn't actually dead and is living somewhere in Syberia. I've got to get to him to sign the sales contract. You see?
Not really. This is a most peculiar tale.
A kerfuffle of the highest order.
We have an excellent law school, if you should ever change your mind.
This is... what is this? Did I tell him about Hans?
Does the name Hans Vorarlberg mean anything to you by chance?
Ah, one of the brightest, most idealistic intellects to have graced our university. Hans Vorarlberg. I remember speaking to him once. I was still a student at the time. He just stared at me, lost in thought for a while. He scarcely ever said a word. But how can one forget him?
Idealistic? I'll grant you that. But bright? Oh, don't go too far. He was completely incapable of passing any exams. All he ever did was to sit in on lessons, and not many of them either. Paleontology, mainly. He had an unhealthy passion for mammoths, which matched the state of his intellect perfectly. That is to say, prehistoric.
Prehistoric? How dare you? A little far-fetched, maybe. But he did have flashes of intellectual brilliance, comprehensible only to high-minded scholars who hold no score by appearances. My dear colleague, your hasty conclusions are somewhat cavalier.
My assessment is wholly accurate. The boy was a little odd. You must concur if my father, who was rector of the university at the time, had not shown great indulgence towards him. Hans Vorarlberg would have never attended this establishment.
What about the bandstand, then? Is that the work of a deranged mind? Even after all these years, you are still jealous of it.
My dear colleagues, I beseech you, let's show some decorum. We have a visitor. What do you want with Hans Vorarlberg, miss? Are you a member of his family?
No, not at all. I'm looking for him to clear up an inheritance matter. Is he still here?
What? Here? At the university? No, not at all. He left a long time ago. Yes, a very long time ago. The very year I was nominated to this position, in fact. Almost 50 years ago already.
The poor soul moved on once he learned all he needed to know about mammoths.
Ah, this establishment was never quite the same after his departure, it must be said.
You mean to say it was never as bad? All that oddball brought to this university was his misplaced fantasies.
Gentlemen, let's try to retain the calm and level-headedness that befits our position.
Did I talk to him about that?
Can you possibly help me out here?
Miss, your insistence is almost verging on indecency.
We cannot constantly be at your disposal. We have many other requests to attend to.
If you don't mind, could you not disturb us all the time? Thank you.
Okay, well, fine, but the train's gonna sit in your station until I figure out how to get it to leave, so don't help me, sure.
Excuse me.
Miss, we find ourselves terribly put out by the presence of your train in our station and by its recurrent immobility.
Indeed, the situation is very regrettable. Your huge locomotive is very cumbersome.
A train should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
Well, fascinating, but don't help me. Don't help me move it, but sure.